Support for Radio Friends comes from OsteoStrong. Improvements in bone density, strength, and power can be achieved by weekly 5-minute no-sweat sessions on their 4-spectrum machines. These isometric robotic machines safely emulate high-impact loading on different parts of the skeletal system, which stimulates activity in bone-building cells. Balance and agility can be improved by 2-minute sessions on vibration plates. Every session is supervised by a trained coach. Learn more on Facebook or call to set up a complimentary wellness assessment and session. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Thursday, October the 20th. We're about a month into fall, which I still find hard to believe because it seems like it was just Christmas time and we're not that far away from Christmas.
I know, and it has been so hot, and then suddenly it got a little cooler, which was really welcoming.
But you know what? Spring and summer are my time of the year, but we're in fall now, and there's some pretty flowers that are blooming. And if you like to get out in the countryside and look at beautiful, wild, blooming local flowers, Nadia Navarrete-Tindall is here to tell us what to look for and how to identify them.
Yeah, I just brought a few. There's so many that sometimes we think that in the fall plants are done and wildflowers are done, but it's many of them, even though with this harsh weather that we had this year, they're blooming.
Yeah.
And I have a few examples. We're going to start with the New England Aster, which is a plant that is very common, many people are familiar with. It likes to grow in the sun, but also tolerates shade, some moderate shade. And this one is really perfect for it could be for a small or large garden. But
it's called a New England Aster?
New England Aster.
But now, is this local? It's a local plant?
Yeah. All these plants that we're talking about are native.
Then why is it called New England Aster?
Because it's from somebody that identified the first time, probably. And actually, the scientific name has the Nova Angliae.
Okay.
So it depends on who identified it.
Yeah. So it's kind of a purple, small flower. It almost looks like a purple daisy, a purple miniature daisy, right?
Yeah, that's what it's just about. And one thing that these plants are not just found in Missouri. Their range of distribution is very large. So that's why the possibility of someone that identified first. I mean, the first person that identified was in New England.
Okay, all right. Then the next one that you have is a yellow.
Yes, and this is Biden's Aristosa. I call it simply Biden's. And it is a plant in the sunflower family. It looks like a small sunflower. It's beautiful, yellow, bright
that is
flowers.
Very dainty looking. It's dainty looking, and these are blooming right now.
Yes, and also they love sun. These are really sun-loving plants. You find them sometimes in prairies that are moist. So they also have a wide range of adaptation.
Will they bloom until frost?
They will bloom probably before frost, maybe through... they won't go through frost.
Okay.
But they bloom for a while. Depends on the site, and they're very attractive for pollinators. Okay. And I've seen honeybees really looking really crazy on those flowers.
Nadia, we talk about honeybees, but I have seen more bees this past summer on my property than I have ever seen. I mean, a lot of bees. I can't figure out why, but they are pollinating like crazy.
Well, you have a good habitat, and then you have plenty of trees. And sometimes we don't think about we think that it's just wildflowers, but you have probably some trees that have been blooming. They're low-growing trees, but we can talk about it next time.
But you know what? The bees are also. I have zinnias planted.
Yes,
and they've been spending a lot of time on the zinnia plants.
Yes, zinnias are good. They're the very few non-native plants that I would recommend. But let's continue with the ones we have here.
Zinnias are good for pollinators?
Yes, they are. And for butterflies. So it's okay.
Oh, I meant to tell you, a lot of butterflies, too.
Yes.
Okay, then the next one is a blue what?
Blue or close gentian. Gentian, Gentin.
And is it blooming right now?
It is blooming right now. This plant is blooming in my yard, in the front yard.
And how tall does it grow?
It's very low growing. It's
Okay.
more. It could be in our yard grows up to maybe 1 foot tall, but it spreads.
And it's got little blue bulbs. They look.
They look like the flowers are not open, but if you see at the tip of the flower, there is an opening, and it's really wonderful to see how the bumblebees pollinate these plants. They find their way in the flower, and they get in the flower, and you miss where is the bumblebee, and then they go out. And so they know how to get in. They're really gorgeous, pink blue flowers.
You know, and you're talking about the bees and the pollinating. I put a couple of zucchini plants in pots this year, and I put them in the driveway, to the side of the driveway. And I would go out and I'd watch in the morning when the big flowers would open up on the zucchini plant. Mm-hmm. The bees would fly into that flower. They would kind of flip their wings around, and they'd come out with the pollen all over, and they'd fly to another.
Yeah.
It was amazing just standing there watching it. And I realized this is nature working. This is nature working.
And zucchinis are also very special because they are in the cucurbit family, and they are a special native bee that only pollinates
the zucchini?
The cucurbits. Not only just zucchini, but watermelon,
and
cucumbers.
Cucumbers, right.
And so those is why we have to grow more wildflowers to provide habitat and food for them. Like the next one we have here is the Sunchoke, or Jerusalem artichoke. It is for many. I'm sure many of the people are listening are familiar with them. And they are edible. The tubers are edible.
Okay.
They look a little bit like ginger, like big ginger, the regular ginger. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the flowers look like sunflowers too.
Yes, they are. It is in the sunflower family.
Okay.
It's a helianthus, Helianthus tuberosus.
We got less than a minute here, and then you got the aromatic aster.
Yeah, that's only just another aster that we have here in Missouri. There's several more, but all these together, if you plant them in your yard, they will be blooming right now. And these pictures were taken in our yard, except for the Bidens. That one is already done with us, but the rest of the plants are still blooming.
Okay. All right, native plants. If you want more information on this, you can go to Nadia's Facebook.com/native plants and more. And you'll have all the information that you need. Nadia, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Well, same here.
All right, come back again.
Here.
Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, something you'd like to see. Bye-bye.